Hello and welcome to another Aggie's Beers, Wines and Spirits review. So here's a beer that I've wanted to review for a while. And like most beers that are specials, you don't really see them in bottle form. Lincoln Green have actually put it in bottle form. And in the middle of COVID, this is one of the smartest moves I think all companies can make. Put your whole range into bottle. I don't know about the feasibility with costings, whether you can do it in a plastic bottle similar to what low cost beer are doing, or you go down the proper bottle route and sell it. I mean, it's a 5% beer, it's gin infused beer, so let's crack it open. So yeah, I mean, I've seen this in pubs and I've seen it, although I bloody didn't get there in time because it sells out so quickly. And I've also been at the Robin Hood Beer Festival, and again, it's sold out. You know, you've got to be going on the first night, and you've got to be, for the good stuff, you've got to be going as early as you can, because it just sells out. Because obviously breweries only make X amount of casks, and I don't understand whether the, I know Lincoln Green have their own, many of their beers there. The beer that my go-to beer is buttermutch, because I love butterscotch and I know how to make it. Yes, I've been to Sweet Success. It's a cake decorating shop. I wish that same shop did. I know they do butterscotch essence. Must be something off the tree. But if they did a plum essence, a nice sweetish plum essence, or even a cherry essence, I've been making cherry beers and plum beers. As it is, I've done a rhubarb stout. We'll see how that one progresses. It's up for a future review now. It's matured now, and I just hope it tastes okay. Otherwise, I'll be seeking volunteers to take bottles off my hands. So, let's have a look at this little fella. It's gold to amber pour. Little white head, carbonation through the middle, bit of lacing around the edge. Ooh, hint of orange on the nose. So what it says here, a refreshing blonde infused with 4 key botanicals. What says it say there? 1 minute. I'll read it off my phone. My phone I can read perfectly. The lighting in here is not that great. So, infused with the 4 main botanicals used in making gin: juniper berries, orange and lemon peel, and coriander seeds. A highly refreshing and popular beer. You'll just have to gin and beer it. Love the wit. Love the wit. And then you look at some of the specials that they do. St. Clement's Citrus Pale Ale. Again, I've never had it. Would love to see it in bottle, or even on draft from the brewery shop. Strawberries and cream. Again, love to see this. Spring Green. Joseph Keller, a chocolate cherry stout. Daybrook Bitter. I live in Sherwood. Daybrook's next door to us. I'm literally 400 yards away from Daybrook. Robin's Red Fest. And Big Ben. It's a strong mild, 6% mild. Brr. An Amber Winter Warmer, 5%. And again, for me, all these beers need to be in bottle format. I mean, obviously I don't understand the logistics behind having to get it into bottles and the costings, because obviously there's always costings, isn't there? Draft, I presume, is the cheapest way of doing it. Draft in the cask, obviously. So the coriander's quite strong. I definitely get the orange and lemon. And what was the one? Juniper. I'm not keen on junipers, to be honest. I can taste it. As a gardener, I'd never been keen on Juniper. Yeah, so I went to the Lincoln Green shop in the middle of lockdown. Them weeks when I was only doing a day and a half a week. Oh, what great weeks they were. Sadly, the shop's not open on a Saturday. And that's, for me, is a downer, because obviously I'm back to work full time. And I've got no chance of taking any holidays off anytime soon, because I've only just started a new job. So that kind of knackers that up. Although the wife does know where it is. So. And nowadays, and if anybody from Lincoln Green watches this, from IKEA, they sell these fellas. So basically it's a pint, or 500, probably a 500 mils if anything. But yeah, round about a pint anyway. So they're £1 each. So, you know, you say you was having it on draft in the place. You get these for £1. I mean, for me, you'd buy a load, wouldn't you? You'd buy 100, put a bit on for the actual price of going down and fetching them. Even at £1.25, they're reusable. And going down to the shop and getting some draft beer and banging it in these, and then it's up to the person to wash them out and bring it and then use them again. But yeah, interesting, I think. And obviously when we go out to pubs and when I've got some spare cash, certain pubs anyway, because there's pubs around where I live. I mean, the close one, a pub in Arnold, Robin Hood and Little John. That's actually a Lincoln Green pub, funnily enough, and I've been in there many times. Obviously not anywhere near the last 6 months. Probably been about a year or so since I last went in. But 2 bars, lots of different beers on the bar, good staff, pleasant atmosphere. They've even got dog beer. Dog beer, would you believe it? I bought a bottle, gave it a dog, pissed out of his head. No one, but you know, it's not got alcohol in it. But it makes you wonder. It makes you wonder if it affects them in a different way, because obviously you can't really be giving dogs alcohol. Although my dog would still drink it. But lots of guest beers, beers that you can take home on draft. But I think the bottle idea is an amazing idea. I think that's more appealing to most people than taking it home in a cardboard carton. Because cardboard cartons, I've done it with Sadler's Brewery. You take the cardboard carton home, and by the time you get home, it's not that great. Whereas with that, because it's a sealed environment, it's gonna retain, you know, I would say 90% of the freshness, as it would if you put it in a plastic bottle, of course. At least 90%. Because you're sealing it straight away, so you know it's got to be the thing. And when we go to pubs that I know's got a good craft beer offering, and I've got pennies, of course, because obviously money's the thing. You know, if you ain't got the money, you can't fucking spend. But I'll go and go and help myself. Well, not help myself, but go and buy. Take 5 I've got 5 bottles. Take all 5. See what I can get. One of them, one of that, one of that, one of that. Yep, I'm reviewing it. Got a little micro pub not too far away from me. That better not be a fucking wasp. Stung me already today, little gets. Got to make sure I take some wasp and fly killer tomorrow. I'm going down. There's the privet edge. There's a space in the privet edge where the little effer's got me. And through 2 t-shirts as well. Nasty little gets. No, I'm glad I didn't get my face. That's one good thing. But I'm going up. And then I'm running. And then I'll do a bit of planting or carry on cleaning up, because I've got a massive edge to clean up. And then do the same half an hour later, 20 minutes later, go up and just keep doing it. I don't care if I use both the cans. We've had them for ages, and it's not a problem. And see how we go from there. And there's one thing, when the hotel, both hotels do actually reopen, so that's Cockcliffe in Country House in Burnstump, and great people around it, but I've already said that anyway. And then Kelham as well. And when they reopen, I'm gonna, once the manager knows me a bit more and we get talking, the owner, Barbara, I'm gonna say to him, I said, look, you know, need more craft beers here, because we are now in a world with a craft beer even if it's in bottle form and got a good date on it, obviously, But if it's in bottle form, people will buy. If I'm at a wedding, I'm looking at the beers on tap, and then I'm looking at the selection in bottles, because I want something decent to drink. Yeah, it's going to be a bit more in a bottle, not as cheap as draft, and obviously they want to add a bit more on to, you know, get some coin. But for me, always, if I can't get it in draft, it's in the bottle, and I'll pay that bit more. I'll pay $4.50. I want to taste something decent. I don't want to be tasting blooming, you know, John Smith's and Carling, Foster's. Hence why I do beer reviews. I want decent stuff. So I'm really getting them gin elements, and they come across quite nicely. Don't be put off by the gin part. Basically, it's just a beer with those gin elements, and to make it interesting, it does. It's not actually a spirit-based beer, but it feels like it is. So. Oh, and it's only 5% as well, so it's not too strong. And I've got that dilemma. It's like, what time is it? And and it's Monday night. It's 7 o'clock. I mean, I've got to cook dinner soon because the wife's busy doing cakes. Well, I've been at work all day, mind you, but I don't mind. Cook some steak, do some nice garlic mushroom, bit of garlic in the mushrooms, and then do some fries, and warm some garlic up again, and splatter it over the fries, and get it right, nice and garlicky. Yeah, I work on my own anyway, so it doesn't matter. I'm not going to upset no one with garlic breath. And yeah, another good day at work. Looking forward to it. I've just took me 40 minutes to empty my boot of pots and that, and then refill with another load. And it's funny, you know, going from such a very bad job to such a very good job, and the ability to put my stamp on things, and obviously the people that they're going to get, well, the minimum of 1,300 plants, and that's a lot of plants, shrubs, grasses, bedding, and you know, perennials. And you know, if you was to sell them at a couple of quid a plant, you can imagine how many plants that's going to be. 2,600 quid, and that's the minimum price. So me, and it's not the fact that I'm even thinking about selling them. The fact is that I can put my stamp on the place as fast as I can. So all the plants I've got in the garden, so I'm not using any of them myself. I can grow my own anyway. You know, I want to get rid of a lot. I'm trying to dig the garden up to get rid of plants so I can redesign it again. So going to this job was the God's gift to me, because now I can redo the garden, get rid of a load of plants, and absolutely bulk these gardens up that are pretty bare, to be fair. And you've got a beautiful building, and it's got such character. I think it's a French chateau actually, or something. That's what the boss man told me. 1700s, 1600s, 1685, something like that. And for me to deliver some amazing colour and do it pretty quickly as well is a great thing. And that's only to the beds, the existing beds. And then I've got the project. Oh, for a gardener, you know, it's probably one of the flipping greatest things I've come across. And once I've been there a while, I'm going to do some on-site beer reviews, like a beer review come tour of what the crack is. So starting at the entrance, walking around, and sit down, bottle of beer straight after work. But I've got to ask permission first. I daren't do it without permission because I don't want to get sacked. Not too early anyway. Not till I win the lottery. But even so, I'd still carry on working. Ooh. So enjoying this. It's different, it's quirky, very quirky. It might not be everyone's taste, but it's different. It's interesting because of the different flavours involved. If you're a gin fan, and you want to get into beer, it's an interesting step, into the world of craft beers. And like everything, your palate, not everyone's got the palate that I've probably got at the moment, where I can basically drink anything and it doesn't taste nasty. Whereas 9 years ago, I wouldn't touch a lot of the stuff. I wouldn't touch wines because it tastes like vinegar. I wouldn't touch, I certainly wouldn't touch Belgian ales because they all taste horrible. And, there's a lot of stuff I just would not touch then. And now, poor Jesus, I'm trying to stop him there. And obviously soon, this weekend I'm going to, I think it's this weekend anyway, I'm going to put an order in to Drink Supermarket, get the world's strongest beer, do a beer review. It's going to be a long beer review because there ain't no way I'm doing that over half an hour. So it might be one of them part one, part two things, because I don't know why it did it the other day, but it split a beer review the other day. So I'll have to make sure the camera's full charged. And it's on my phone, isn't it? My phone might know. It'll be live. So it won't matter. Ah, you see. Yeah, the live review. I've already warned the wife. I said to her last night, I says, I'm going to do that world's strongest beer when I reach 1,000. I said I'm going to do it. And I said to her, there's a 2-hour time limit. If I'm not out the shed in 2 hours, you reckon I have to come down and make sure I'm okay. And if I'm there sitting, laughing, smile on my face, pissed out of my head, then I'm okay. But it's going to have to be a Saturday night probably. Because Friday night, Saturday morning, I go out to do gardens. So it's going to have to be a Sunday. And it certainly can't be the week of September the 7th, because we're at Blackpool for 2 days. Get on some rides, go to an hotel, and get some normality. All this rubbish this year. And there's got to be a point where we just live with it. You'd think so, wouldn't you? So yeah, if people are watching, and I'd like to gauge the reaction. What do you think about all breweries putting the specials that they don't normally bottle into bottles, getting them on websites? Or, I mean, I got this from adventurebeer.com. A great guy who goes around to all these, including Lincoln Brewery, obviously. And he gets the beers. That's why I ordered it. I seen it and I thought, oh, that's a Raggy Avenue beer. I want that one. But just to gauge reaction, would you like to see beers that aren't normally in bottles, so you can buy them from websites, especially for the people that are shielding, furloughing, people that don't feel confident to go out? Because let's be fair, I'm now in a situation where I'm dealing with next to nobody anymore. And so with regards to coronavirus, I'm actually probably as safe as houses. I'm working on my own. I'm in an environment where I've been at the job I'm in now 3 days. I've only seen somebody on the first day. I've had 2 days on my own totally. And it's a good thing that I'm a totally honest person. And I set up a WhatsApp group so that the new boss bloke can see what I'm doing, because I want him to know what I'm doing. I want to verify what I'm doing so we can see, And then I want him to come round to the Raggy way of thinking and get the polytunnels, and we'll grow herbs, we'll grow veg, we'll grow fruit, we will compost, we will do as much ecological stuff that you can imagine that you can do as a garden. Make flower beds. There's so much you can do, even on a small garden. There's so much you can do. Growing your own herbs, and this is all what I want to do. Grow herbs, probably in pots rather than in beds, because herbs are shitbags in beds, just spread like one. But growing rhubarb is brilliant, because you can use it in rhubarb crumble, rhubarb and custard obviously, but you can also make wine and beer. Could you imagine if you turn around to me and says, I'd like to make an on-site microbrewery, would you be interested? Yeah, I fucking am. Yeah, stuff the gardening, let's go brewing. Eh? If only, eh? Living that dream. I'm talking about breweries, going off tangent again. You know me. Never stick to the subject matter. Brewery tours. The fellow who does Lincoln Green Brewery, I can't remember his name for the life of me. It's gone. It's been a long day, I'm tired. And he's really good on the camera. When he talks about, I'm not sure if he's the man actually who owns Lincoln Green Brewery or what. But he was at the shop the day I went, but a lady dealt with us because he was chatting to somebody. I bought some draft beers, and then I went and got a load of buttermudge and Tuck. Tuck is a fantastic beer. Buttermudge is divine. Tuck is unbelievably as well. But anyway, let's not get too... but to be fair, all their beers are decent. I've not come across a bad one out of all of them. But anyway, yeah, brewery tours. You know, for me, every brewery should be thinking about doing brewery tours, even if it's a COVID-friendly brewery tours. Less people, you know, you go in, less of you there, and as long as they're making a bit out of it, you know, if you pay 20 quid for the tour, you're getting 2 or 3 beers for free, maybe a few hot chips or something, but listening to the brewer, you know, talking, getting his passion. And again, like I've said for this channel, when this channel gets much bigger, chatting to breweries up and down the country and doing interviews, because it's a very interesting concept. It's interesting for them to get their viewpoint out, because, you know, we're all individuals. We all, you know, the best of us do it for the right reasons. All the best of us do. Some people do things for the wrong reasons. Some people get married just to, you know, get the money, and they're not really interested. But, you know, that's the bad side of people. Always look at the good side. And today, somebody, a fellow who looks at who watches the channel, and I'll bring his name up because I don't want to be rude. I think it was on Instagram I got the message. And basically, he came to me the other week. Where's the chuffing messages? Do you know when you don't use things very often? But anyway, the other week I basically gave a little bit of a pep talk saying that, you know, I won't be defeated. I will get the right job. And he's messaged me today saying he's got the job. And for me, inspiring him, I mean, that's lovely, you know. It's lovely for him that he's got a job, you know, and he's sorted himself out. That is the main thing above anything. But if I've inspired somebody to do something positive, you know, that's great, you know. Positivity. After the year I've had, positivity is there, you know. Moving forward, businesses being positive about the future, using COVID as a positive step to move forward. And let's look at the beers and breweries, you know, using COVID to do takeaway beers, deliveries, even if it's only of a certain area, using your pubs, staff that are maybe in your pubs that maybe you don't want 5 staff working, that one member of staff, if he's okay to drive his car and deliver beers, go deliver beers to people. Use the draft beer model, delivering bottled beers, kegs, you know, poly bags or whatever you call them, and even food. You know, all of these pubs, a lot of pubs do food, delivering food. There's a lot of old people. I do 2 gardens for 2 old people, and they're the most lovely personalities, you could dream of. And throughout my troubles, they were supportive of me. And these are the people that have been struggling to get out, struggling to see somebody. So for them to phone up, say, a pub, we'll go for Lincoln Green's pub, Little John and Robin Hood, and say, look, can you do us a dinner and a few beers, and then somebody to drop it off. Yeah, you're going to charge a bit, you're going to charge a delivery charge, but they're getting a decent dinner, couple of beers, job's a good one. And it's an interest, utilising the troubles we're in to get the best out of it. I've seen a shop in Sherwood, the Bakehouse, and they've turned COVID into a massive opportunity. They've closed down one side of the shop where they had like this eat-in bit. They've opened the shop onto the pavement, which I think is a fantastic idea. Gets people outside. In the normal air, you're okay anyway, being a distance apart. And he's using that to ramp up production of his, and he does fantastic food. Fair play to both him and his wife. Amazing. They sell local beers, so they're supporting the local businesses. And it's amazing. And it's just changing the way you are to adapt. Big companies, they're shit at adapting, aren't they? But smaller breweries, quicker to adapt. And using other people's business models. Two business models that I've seen lately that are massively good. Adventure Beer, using go to all the local breweries, and while they're going to the local breweries, they're dropping off deliveries. So no journey is a wasted journey. Also, low cost beer. They're selling short date, out of date beer, or maybe too much produced beer, because obviously breweries do produce too many crates. They're selling that, and they're also selling draft beer. So that if you produce too much draft beer and you can't get rid of it, in key kegs and shit like that, they'll sell that. I mean, I've reviewed a hell of a lot of draft beers, and they've all been bang on. And great business models, adapting to the future. And me, I'm still working for somebody, but I'm in a good job, and that's what matters. And the owner's fantastic, and the staff that I've seen are all lovely as well, and even the neighbours, the farmers, are all lovely. It's like going from a shit environment to the best environment ever. Still pinching myself. So it's been a raggy special, a long beer review. Thoroughly enjoyed Gin and Beer It. So happy to see it in a bottle. Can't wait for more in a bottle, or even on some sort of draft form where it's in 1 litre bottles. You buy 2 pints, or 1 litre, and you go down that route. And I think it's utilising the business and changing the business to suit the demands is so interesting. Then utilising beer gardens also very in need. But obviously with shit weather coming and the winds coming, it's not as easy. And that's it for this beer review. So for me, nice nose. Definitely got all the gin elements on the nose. They came through in the taste throughout. And there was no issues at all with it. Different, bit quirky if I'm being honest. As somebody who's gone to appreciate gins, I won't say I'm a gin lover. I'll drink the stuff, but I can't. I still think it's for women, but that's not me being sexist. It's just I'll take the piss out of my mates. That's a woman's drink. Drink beer. No, I like gin. Yeah, it's a woman's drink. Are you a woman? But I only did it for the wind up. But yeah, very nice, and it's in bottle form at the moment at Adventure Beer. So if it sounds interesting, and certainly if you live in Nottinghamshire and parts of Leicestershire, parts of Derbyshire, check your postcodes. It's very interesting. Lincoln Green, as far as I know, just tried to go on the website and won't let me on for some reason. They don't do deliveries nationwide or that. So Adventure Beer is basically their portal, but it's a portal worth using. And if anybody from Lincoln Green watches, please, please, please bottle all your beers. Trust me, they will sell. Even if you do small batches and they just end up going for adventure beer, they will sell. And they'll sell in your pubs as well. Getting this this new way of thinking with coronavirus, especially for the generation of people who are still scared to come out but want beers, you know, it's interesting. It's a good concept. But anyway, back to the beer. Talk too long. 30 bloody minutes. Jesus Christ. Don't I rattle? I haven't done my gardening yet. Yeah, great beer. And out of 5 then. The critique time. Yeah, it was quirky, it was different, but it tasted nice. It went down well. I've been chatting for half an hour, so you know it's a good beer. Because if I chat for ages, then you know that I'm enjoying it and it's going down well. If it's one of them 3-minute beers and it's gone and dusted, that's it. You think, no, that's not so good. Out of 5, 4.3 out of 5. A very interesting beer, and it makes you wonder if there's a different concept you can go down. The flavours of gins, cherry bait roll gin, beer it. Yeah, interesting. And that's it for this beer review. As always, thank you everybody for watching and subscribing, commenting, and yeah, see you soon. And I've got a bloody long video to upload. It takes ages. It does. Now what's up with YouTube? It's crap. See you soon. Cheers.